so crazy to start, the 6th day. So super exciting, and just can't wait to get started.
And he said it'll work itself out quickly, he thinks. So you feel the same way?
I think so too. Obviously there's a lot of quarterbacks in the quarterback room. There's competition in everything you do. So at the end of the day, the best guy's going to play, and you just got to take it one day at a time.
I think that best guy was came in after spring ball. Obviously, guys jumped through spring ball, got used to the offense and everything. How do you feel the guys have come in for the summer? How they adapted?
Yeah, I feel like they've joined the team. We had a lot of newcomers in the spring, but just taking everybody under the wing. We're all Sun Devils here, trying to make sure everybody's comfortable and just getting ready for that first game.
And then the excitement. I know it's just a few days, but still going up to KT and kind of just being talking to your phone and coach, just excited to go up to KT. What it means to you.
I'm super excited. I actually got sent a video a couple days ago from a former player. They had a video up there. I think it was like 20 years ago or so. But just to see the camaraderie and the memories you're going to make that are going to last a lifetime. And I'm excited to take this group of teammates up there and just make memories that are going to go a lot farther than just the football field.
And you don't think Coach Dillingham is going to pull a Coach Chris McGee when he walked out Capitol Hill to get here, right?
We're going to see. We'll see about that. But Coach Dillingham always has some tricks up his sleeve, so it'll be interesting.
Trenton, was there any part of you last year when you start playing well and you have the job that's just thinking about, like, I'm going to be able to build on this next year and this is kind of going to be my job going forward?
Most definitely. Obviously getting the opportunity last year to showcase my abilities, I felt comfortable. Definitely was still bothering, my foot was still bothering me. But just looking forward to that offseason, getting ready, for next year. Definitely wanted to be a Sun Devil. Never had a thought in my mind about leaving or anything. Didn't matter who they brought in or who stayed. I think, this is a great place to play football with a great community, a great fan base. So just very blessed with this opportunity and excited to start competing in fall camp.
Do you ever feel like you're constantly doubted? You bring in a new high-profile coach or player every year, and you've got to compete again.
Yeah.
So do you ever kind of feel like, hey, they're just doubting me?
Yeah, it is what it is. You're going to have people that, believe in you, some are going to doubt you. But for me, it's been like this my whole life, in middle school and high school and 7-on-7, starting here, 5 years ago, being the 5th string walk-on. So just to get to this position, nothing changes for me mentally. I feel confident as ever and super excited, healthy. I feel really healthy right now. Coach Joe did a great job this off-season, making sure I'm getting back to my strength. And full season, just getting ready for the full season, and I'm super excited to showcase what I can do.
What's different about this staff? What's different about the atmosphere around this team? The attitude was different.
I think, just the energy. I mean, that's one thing that's, everybody's, kind of seen, at these practices, there's a lot of energy, there's music. You guys are allowed to be there for, the full practice. So not just to get a sneak peek, but you get to see the full, Coach Dillingham's super excited. There's going to be times where we're doing one-on-ones with linemen and the coaches are in on it. There's going to be dance-offs. So just making it, interesting, fun. And he's always, said, we're going to be the hardest working team, having the most fun in the country. So I definitely think that it's going to translate to the season.
You kind of touched on, having to overcome a lot of stuff. Just you didn't get here. Do you think what you've been through, growing up, has made you better? Has kind of helped you? So when it comes to trying to compete in tough times, you're like, well, that was good for me the whole time.
Yeah, no, most definitely. You've always heard, life's not fair, and I think that's so true. There's going to be people that get treated differently, whether where you're from or how highly recruited you are or what position you are. So for me, it's just, taking my ability and controlling what I can with my attitude, my effort, and just trying to be the best Trenton Bourguet I can be each and every day and help this team win. And I think that's what I'm trying to do every day.
You and Jalen live together.
Yeah, me and Jalen, yes, sir.
He spilled your shopping list earlier. Can you clear it up in your eyes? What are the 10 things you got to buy? 10
things, you definitely got to have milk, eggs, bacon. I love my chicken Alfredo. I love to make, pancakes. I'm a big breakfast guy, so I make the hash browns. I'm a big chicken tender guy. I love chicken. All my friends tease me about making chicken tenders all the time, but hey, they're good. But just making the basic things. I do all the shopping in my house. Me and Kobe, my brother, and Jalen. But I'm the guy that goes to Costco, fries. So I'll be making the nightly runs and everything like that. Trying to go at nighttime because it's so hot, but it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of memories. I've had 22 roommates living at the house with me, with LD and Daniel Nagata and Brian Thompson. So it's just been super fun, make those memories outside the football field. Talked to LD yesterday for about an hour and just making sure that, just because he's not here with me doesn't mean we're not brothers,
So 22, that could be one of two things. Either you're really good roommates
or they don't like us, exactly. So it's either a good thing or a bad thing. But no, it's been super fun, having movie nights and just watching football and talking sports and just hanging out. That's the one thing about being here. You're making friends and memories with people you would have never known, outside of football, but it goes a lot longer.
Regardless of what happens, I guess, judging from that,
had such a really good time. Your Sun Devil experience has got to be fun.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I'm super blessed to be a Sun Devil. I never, growing up, I obviously wasn't a Sun Devil fan, but, God's plans are always the best, and you just never know what's going to happen. But definitely taking advantage of it, having my brother here at COVID, and my sister just committed here to play beach volleyball. So next year there's going to be a lot of, Bourguets, here in the fall and in the spring for the volleyball season. So it'll be exciting.
Trenton, you talked about your family. When you ride your spring ball coming down. At that point, could you see to where you are today with that getting to packed
I always felt confident what I was capable of doing. My first year was really just trying to get my foot in the door, really trying to gain the trust of my coaches and my teammates and watching film with other players and getting, going against the defense. I think every day definitely helped me, going against the Darian Butlers and Merlin Robertson and Kyle Solis and Jack Jones and Chase Lucas. I mean, there's a number of guys that I faced, every day in practice that are in the league. So once I got that opportunity against Washington, for me it was just another day, on the football field, throwing the ball around, playing the game we love. So I definitely think I never doubted myself, but it definitely happened. And to me, I wasn't surprised, and I'm just super excited to keep building on it.
When you talk about your love for this team, you've been competing for all three of them.
Yep.
Throughout this whole year.
Yep.
A lot of change. People coming out. It's never been easier to go somewhere else. So where does your love for this university? You didn't have a history of it. So where does that come from?
I think just growing up, I went to a smaller high school, Miranda, in Tucson. Obviously the bigger high school down there is South Point with, Bijan Robinson and Lathan Ransom. My brother's transferred there, but my dad growing up always told me, it's not where you go, but it's what you do when you're there. And for me, in this age of the game, everybody, wants to go to these bigger schools and, they want to chase whatever, and if there's competition or it gets tough, they're going to leave. And for me, I've never been somebody that runs away from competition. I embrace it. I think it's going to make you better, not only in football but in life. I want to coach when I'm done playing football, and obviously there's going to be more coaches out there that I'm going to have to compete against and learn from. And rather than run away from it, I want to embrace it, get better, and obviously at the end of the day, the best guy's going to win. And for me, it's just control what I can. I think it's all going to work out.
Trenton, you mentioned your brother and sister. You come from a pretty competitive family.
Most definitely. Yes.
Who's the best athlete in the whole group?
I think we've all kind of agreed it's Rylan. Rylan, my sister, I mean, she can play. She can do it all. She plays football, basketball, soccer, beach volleyball, indoor volleyball. So she does it all. It'll be super exciting. You guys will definitely have to come check her out. And she's competitive. We have, volleyball games back home in Tucson, and it's kind of like, hey, let's calm it down. We're not playing, USC in the Final Four of the beach volleyball tournament, but she's super exciting. I think it brings the best out of all of us. We go home, and especially when we're all, in different stages of our lives, we don't get to spend that much time together. But in the summer, we had about a week to be back, and Trenton's out in Western Michigan. So to be back together, to talk memories, and just help each other out, the colleges, everybody's going through ups and downs. It's been super special. And, we have two younger brothers, that are, 14 and 11. So, they'll be coming up the ranks soon enough, and we'll see what they do.
So you're the oldest?
I'm the oldest, yep, I'm the oldest. There's 6 of us, 5 boys and 1 girl.
So Trenton, competition is nothing new to you.
Nothing. There's competition.
You've done it your whole life.
Yes, exactly. Everything, growing up in a family that we play multiple sports, soccer, wrestling, basketball, football. You name it, we did it. And, obviously there's some sports you're not the best at. We would do baseball, and my dad was the coach, and he didn't believe in practicing, 5 days a week. You play baseball 3 games already a week. So, it was just having fun, making memories. And I definitely think, being in those uncomfortable situations definitely help you out going out. And with my family, there's competition, and who's going to fold the most towels, and who's going to open the door and bring in the most groceries in one take-in. So it's definitely helped out, and I think it just translates to everything in life.
How many state championships is Rylan?
She has 7. She has one for all the brothers and my mom. My dad has one in wrestling, but she has 7. I never even made to the state semis and anything, so she took care of that for the family.
As I know Coach makes it up, guys reinvest in offensive stuff. So who do you think from the defensive side of the ball could be serviceable on offense, and offense could be serviceable on defense from the challenges you saw in the spring?
I would say offensively, I've always thought, Jordan Clark and I, we always talk about he needs to, have a jet sweep type thing. He's pretty quick and agile, and I definitely think he has the smarts to do something offensively. And offensively to go to defense, I feel like we definitely have. I wouldn't want to see Scat at middle linebacker, coming free up the hole. DeCarlos the same thing. I think Elijah Badger, I think in high school he played DB, so I think Elijah, kind of has those characteristics of a great defensive back, pretty long arms, pretty fast, can high point the ball, so I think he'd be able to make some plays.
So I noticed you didn't mention Burrow there, because he asked Coach if he didn't have a snap at quarterback.
Quarterback
challenge. What did you think of his pass? Even though it was incomplete.
Yeah, he did drop it in dime. I think, he might be able to come in for like a Hail Mary type situation. I don't know if he could read, a cover 3 read, curl flat, but, you never know. We'll see if he has an opportunity to throw another one-on-one in the fall game.
So the game says he needs to stick to corner.
Hey, yeah, I would say stick at corner and make those plays and, make a lot of money doing that.
The defensive guys yesterday were talking about chaos. It's kind of the descriptive word for the defense. How would you describe the offense?
Offense, diverse, very diverse, complex. We're going to be able to run multiple, the same play multiple ways. It's not just going to be, run one play and we cross it off. You watch, Oregon last year, I think against Washington, they had a drive that lasted 13 minutes and they ran the same play over and over and over again. So if it's not broke, why fix it? I think that's one thing that I've definitely learned from Coach Dillingham of, trying to get to the same formation, the same play, but just running it a number of different ways with motions and in different cadences and stuff like that. So it's been super fun.
Hard to learn or easy to learn?
For me, having so many offensive coordinators, I kind of like it. I like to, see what I like, what I don't like. For me, it hasn't been anything crazy, but, definitely taking it one day at a time. You're not going to know everything, as soon as we get started, but definitely learning from Coach Baldwin and Coach Dillingham. We've had very great meetings so far. I've had Coach Likens, Coach Hill, Coach Thomas, and then, we ran the same offense with the Guano, which is a different pace, so 3. 3 or 4, so.
Jalen described you as a roommate as insanely clean.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I would definitely say, just growing up in a household, where we try to keep everything, pretty clean, having, 5 siblings, really 4 brothers, and the 3 oldest brothers, we kind of share close, so making sure, keeping it clean, because Tracy, he'll lose something, and Cohen's very tidied up too, so, but just, being clean, not only in just football, but in school, making sure you have all your papers turned in, so I think that just kind of translated. Having your own house too, I think definitely, make sure I have guys over all the time, and I'll vacuum before I probably vacuum every day, clean the countertops, the kitchen, so, how you would think of me, being a quarterback, that's exactly how I am at the house, so, yep.
And obviously you keep track of these 22 roommates, you can tell how many state titles your siblings have won. You keep a mental list of how many people have doubted you or proven you wrong.
Most definitely. That's kind of in the back of my mind, people will send me things, or can you believe he said this and that, and obviously people are going to have opinions, and it just makes it that much sweeter.
Jalen talking about playing video games with you, and he'd have an offense, you're like, don't even run that play, I know where you're going. Just tell us about dominating him in that sense.
Yeah, Madden is, a game that we love to play at the House of 209. Bryce Pierre is probably the guy that him and I go back and forth all the time, but yeah, offensively I try to, call the game like I would call a game in real life and go through my reads, and defensively I feel like I'm getting better at defensive coverages and stuff like that. So for me, it's super fun, and I'm competitive, and I try to win every time.
How much is that a part of your game? Being able to process the information because you get the ball out so quickly. How much is that part of your game?
Yeah, I definitely think that's something that I take full advantage of. Not being the biggest guy, the strongest guy, the fastest guy, but using that trait of being able to read and anticipate is definitely something I've definitely worked on over the years, and it's definitely helped me out.
Who's your team?
The team, I love to use the Dolphins. I think Jalen Waddle and Tua and Tyreek Hill are kind of unstoppable. They have a great running game. But I like the Dolphins and the Bengals.
Is that the team you support on actual Sundays as well?
For me, it's more, I like the Cardinals, obviously being from Arizona. But definitely, I like players, not really like a team.
Who's your favorite
player? Watching this quarterback series, I love Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow is somebody I've always liked.
Is there anyone you kind of model your game after in the NFL as well?
I like Drew Brees when I was growing up. Obviously, he's not the biggest guy. I like Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, the arm angles he can use. Peyton Manning was somebody I like too. So Russell Wilson. There's just a number of guys that I've always looked up to and try to translate my game like.
Trent, what's one thing that you're looking to improve on going into fall camp?
Improving on would just probably the familiarity with the offense, just hearing the play once and being able to, halfway through the sentence, I know what we're calling, and just having a better understanding of, okay, this is why Coach Dillingham called this or Coach Baldwin said this, and just fully understanding, obviously springtime is kind of your first time running the stuff, but I feel like now we're kind of on the page where I'm going to make a check, and Coach Dillingham and Coach Baldwin are probably thinking the same thing and just doing it on the field.
Yeah, and then like you were talking to him earlier about how many people have doubted you. So how would you say that's the biggest chip on your shoulder? And then a lot of guys have talked about how they have their own chips being overlooked and undervalued. So how do you mesh that all together?
Yeah, for me, it doesn't really bother me. I know what I'm capable of, and I just try to, obviously with God has a plan with everything, and just trying to perform, not only for me, but my family, my teammates, God, and just trying to put on for Arizona State. So, yeah.
The foot thing was.